In proof number 15, I'm going to identify, like I do in all my proofs, what I'm trying to find first. And what I'm trying to show is that AB is congruent to AC. And I'm marking those in purple because I don't know them yet, but I want to focus my thoughts on how do I show that those two things are congruent. Everything I do know I'm going to mark in green. So I start with my given information. It says that angle 1 is congruent to angle 4. Well, the only relationships I see right now are that angle 1 and angle 2 make a linear pair, so those should be supplementary. But angle 3 and angle 4 also share that relationship, so angle 3 and angle 4 should also be supplementary. Well, what that tells me is, I'm going to put some numbers in here in orange. If this angle was 100, I'm just playing the what if game. If this angle was 100, then angle 2 would have to be 80. But since angle 1 has to be the same as angle 4 because it was given to me at the beginning, angle 4 would have to be 100. And since 3 and 4 are supplementary because of the linear pair, angle 3 would also have to end up being 80. So I'm marking angle 2 and angle 3 the same because if these two angles are congruent, then their supplements 2 and 3 also have to be congruent. And what that tells me is, if I look at that big triangle ABC, if I have two angles ever marked the same inside of a triangle, I know that I can draw a cross from those two angles, and these two sides have to be the same. And those two sides would be AB and AC. So I've got this proof figured out. Now I just have to write everything down that I said. So let's start at the beginning. We started that angle 1 and angle 4 were congruent. Why? Because it was given to me. After that, I recognized that 1 and 2 were a linear pair. So I'm going to say that angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary. I could step this out and say that they're a linear pair by the definition of linear pair and then say they're supplementary because linear pairs are supplementary. But I'm going to go ahead and start with 1 and 2 are supplementary because we know that linear pairs are supplementary. We don't have to step it out bit by bit. Now the next thing that I looked at was angle 3 and angle 4 with the exact same reason. Those are linear pairs, so they're supplementary. So I'm not going to call that statement 3. I'm just going to list that underneath statement number 2. Angle 3 and angle 4 are also supplementary. And I do that to save myself a little bit of writing because linear pairs are supplementary works for both of these statements. So the next thing we looked at after that was, we said, well, 2 and 3 have to be the same if I have these supplementary relationships. So we marked, or we stated, that angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. Because if those two angles, 1 and 4, are congruent, then their supplements, which were angle 2 and angle 3, are also congruent. So again, this theorem is most used when you have a linear pair and we're looking for some congruent angles. Well, once I had that, we were able to say these two sides of AB and AC are opposite those angles. So AB has to be congruent to AC because if two angles in a triangle are congruent, then the sides opposite those angles are also congruent.